Obama says he's ready to deal, but will not budge on tax hikes. Now, the Republicans won't budge either. So if neither side is willing to give, what's it going to take to get a deal done before August 2nd? Joining us now is Colin Hanna, president of Let Freedom Ring. Colin, thanks for being with us. And I know that you are strongly opposed to the entitlements and believe that they should be cut. So we're talking about Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, aren't we?
Well, I think that entitlements need to be cut as part of an overall cut policy. But here's the point. I think if you look at this just as a clash between taxes and entitlements, you're not likely to break the logjam. But I think that a game changer has come along just in the last few days. In the Senate a few days ago, they introduced a new bill called the Cut, Cap, and Balance Act, and it's expected to be introduced in the House in a day or two. And that will change everything, I believe.
Now, you are a member of the Cut, Cap, and Balance Pledge Coalition. Can you just quickly tell people what it's about?
Sure. The Cut, Cap, and Balance Pledge said that there should be 3 preconditions before the pledge signers would agree to any debt ceiling increase. That would be substantial cuts in the immediate budget, a cap on federal spending similar to a Graham-Rudman cap, but this time pegged to the percentage of the economy which the federal spending would represent, and then finally a balanced budget amendment, one with real teeth in it. Those are the 3 elements. The Cut, Cap, and Balance Act is a little different, however.
Now, what's interesting is that all 3 things that you just mentioned are so logical, and I think this is a problem that a lot of Americans are having lately. We have heard this before, we've been here before, and many of us are worried we're going to be here again because we're going to pass some sort of short-term deal just to get us through this August 2nd deadline.
You're so right, Tracy, and the survey that we've done that's available on cutcapbalancepledge.com demonstrates that the American people really want permanence. They don't even want just a long-term deal as opposed to a short-term deal. They're looking for permanence. They want to see something that changes the game entirely so that we don't have another round, a series of these debt ceiling increases like we've had for the last several years. And that's what the Cut, Cap, Balance Act promises. It points the way to a balanced budget amendment that will make it attractive for Democrats as well as Republicans to sign on, because the bill will include the $2.4 trillion debt ceiling increase that the president wants, but only after a balanced budget amendment passes the House and Senate.
The problem is the doom and gloom coming out of the White House, and we have a piece from Treasury Secretary Tim Geithner from Meet the Press this Sunday. Take a listen, if you would.
This is a very tough economy, and I think for a lot of people, it's going to feel very hard, harder than anything they've experienced in a lifetime now for some time to come.
Harder than what we've been through so far? I mean, they're saying it's going to get way worse before it gets better.
Well, I think if the current administration and its policies stay in effect and in power past the end of next year, he's absolutely right.
That's not very comforting for a lot of us out there. You know, I will say something. Maybe Leader Boehner was correct in turning down the $1 trillion in taxes from that President Obama offered, because the president offered and said he would reform tax later, accept the $1 trillion in tax revenues now, will reform later. That, to me, sounds like a political trap. So maybe Leader Boehner is doing the right thing here on holding out.
I think that's right. I think no deal is better than a bad deal. But I think that the Cut, Cap, Balance Act points the way towards a permanent solution, and that's better than anything else that's on the table right now.
So what do you think? What's going to turn these talks around? What's it going to take right now, Colin?
I think for Democrats to realize that they can get the debt ceiling increase that they want simply by agreeing to support a balanced budget amendment, which is already supported, Tracy, by 80% of the American people. If they will agree to do that, then they'll get what they need in the short term, and the country will get what it needs in the long term.
It's almost amazing that we don't have to balance our budget as a country, and yet we all have to balance our budgets as little mini households throughout the United States of America. Colin Hanna, president of Let Freedom Ring, thanks so much for being with us.